By the way, in Colorado, I'm coming back on the 11th, actually on the 12th, and then we'll be going to on the 19th to Colorado, a meeting in Denver on the 19th, a meeting in Greeley, Colorado on the 20th, Colorado Springs on the 21st, and Fort Collins, Colorado on the 23rd. All of those should be on the KaratBars events.com schedule there. And Stan, I think you missed a V in that link that you put there, unless you already changed it. I can repost that. And if they're not, if you can't see all of them, you'll see them shortly. Now, nothing ever changes until you reprogram this between your ears. Now, you may not be able to see my face well, but that's okay. I am the common sense knucklehead. I just, was a repo man for 27 years. Some of you may be seeing this for the first time. I want you to know that it doesn't matter what you do to make a living right now. You can apply a few nominal tasks, duplicate what we do. You know, innovative. You don't have to change anything. Actually, what we do duplicates very well. But nothing is ever going to change in here until you reprogram this. So I could give you the best options you could find in life. Not willing to change a few patterns in here, you probably are going to have a difficult time. Adjust and adapt and associate with those people who are striving in the right way toward this common goal, common benefit. You're going to have a time. So the more you can do to program this with positive stuff, the better. Now, our 12-week plan to financial freedom and independence and a minimum of $4,500 a week in income is a simplified task program. Now, I think, as many others do, it is the correct program update for the time today. So it's my goal to share with you some information to allow you to do things that you couldn't do before because you weren't given the information before. And so the most difficult thing to do is to pass one idea from one person to another and not be misunderstood. Just ask anybody who's been married. Even though you were sure about what you were trying to say, they did not receive it in the same manner. And so if you're willing to be misunderstood, you can make a significant change in your ability to make decisions based on whether you have enough time or money. Now, here's the root of the problems we see, folks. That right there, that is the world's exclusive reserve currency until it isn't anymore. Now, we've been seeing many different changes and recently, including a few articles based on China revaluing their money and going to gold-backed money. All these are precursors, but here's the first program update you need to understand. Whatever happens to the dollar happens to everything you have kept in dollars. Recognizing the problem is the beginning of the real solution. Did you know you cannot outwork an exponential inflation with a linear income? You can't do it anymore. You could 2 generations ago when the dollar was backed by gold. This is what has happened to the dollar and the buying power, and it's changes that we see in society today. 2 generations ago, one person had to work in a family in order to with a tool to meet the needs of the economy called a job, and the job was supposed to do 3 things. Number 1, it was supposed to give you enough money to live on. Number 2, it was supposed to pay you the taxes the government said you had to pay, and number 3, it was supposed to give you enough money that you didn't have to live on so that you could put it into the power of compounding so when you couldn't work anymore, you had something to live on. Well, how's that working for most people today? When we got decoupled from gold, that was the beginning of the end for that advice to be efficient tool to meet the needs of the economy for the masses. Maybe for some select, but not for the masses. And so 2 generations ago, the word saving meant storing generational wealth, money that was backed by gold. And people lived off their savings, and you heard them talk about it. And they had their savings, and they had a pension if they had one, and then they had supplemented by Social Security. And when we got decoupled from gold, the media reprogrammed your brain to mean the word savings meant spending at a discount, affording your lifestyle. And in 2 generations, we forgot what real money was. And so this is where the debt trap came into place, the secret traps. Banks made available cheap, easy money. The media encouraged debt as a new normal. The unsuspecting public bites. That creates new debt and monthly payments. And then part of the paycheck paid to other becomes all of the paycheck paid to them. And so we've gone from 1 household income to 2 household incomes to kids staying home till they're 25 or 26. We've seen the fast food worker union wants $15 an hour to flip burgers. And the other symptoms in society we've seen is this. We've seen Occupy Wall Street, the Tea Party movement. You've seen regime changes worldwide. You've seen bail-ins and bailouts, and you've seen private pension funds being swapped out with public trust bonds. All these are just symptoms of the fact that the dollars don't do what they used to do. Recognize that is the basis of understanding we have a great solution to that in a KaratBars business. Here's what happened 40 years ago when the dollar was backed by gold. A gram of gold would have bought you 5 loaves of bread. And 40 years ago, a dollar backed by gold would have bought you 4 loaves of bread. Great. But after 40 years of politicians, banks, and governments printing money backed by nothing but a promise, a gram of gold will buy you 20 loaves of bread, and a dollar will buy you a half a loaf. And folks, that is the difference between gold money and paper money. And if the past is going to predict the future, which it usually does, is the value of your labor in any kinds of these monies. Is it going to be preserved? Because this is a representation of the labor that you gave to somebody else. And then you take this and you exchange it for what you want. Is the value of your labor going to continue to be preserved in the paper money? If not, you have to make a decision as what to do. So, if you mention here and you agree with that, the real question is gold money. How do you get the most of the best quality gold money for the least amount of time, effort, and personal finances? There is only 4 ways you can acquire gold. I'm going to cut my camera here, okay? There's only 4 ways you can acquire gold. Number 1, you can inherit it. Number 2, you can extract it out of the ground. Has anybody on this webcast extracted gold out of the ground? Hand or minded? If you have, type it in. Would you do it again? Number 3, you can buy it out of your own pocket. Now, that's the most common way people think when they think of acquiring gold. But then you're always limited by how much discretionary income you have that isn't committed to the people that you have your financial obligations to. And so even with good intentions of saving up to buy a larger amount of gold, you don't. Something comes up. Now, can everybody still hear me? Well, I just want to double verify. Go ahead and type it in. Excellent. Okay, now, the reason somebody invited you here today to see this plan was they wanted to show you option number 4. That is to set up a KaratBars dual system, do the 12-week plan as we show it. Acquire it from the system, not from your pocket. There's a reversal, a point where you no longer use your personal finances, get a return of capital, and then you have set up an asset that spins off pure residual income that you can take in either cash or gold bullion. In the times we live in today, you're going to need both cash flow and gold money for the times when the paper money mathematically will have some changes to it. We don't know what it's going to look like in which country, but you're going to need it sooner than later. So here's a program update number 3. How do you save money? It's very simple. You make sure it isn't made out of paper. Paper no longer properly preserves the buying power. Gold always has. Who's going to pay you to do this? Mr. Harold Seitz, founder, CEO, and visionary of KaratBars International. He created a global e-commerce system, an umbrella that it doesn't matter where you are living at, doesn't matter what your age is, doesn't matter which language you speak, doesn't matter what your educational level is, doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. We're in 116 countries now, delivering in 115. And if you have a desire to improve your family's lifestyle and your future, you can create an income regardless of what's happened in your local economy and create an entire different area, another income in another area of the world. Now, we are an e-commerce company with a fully funded infrastructure. You get to make money funded by Harold's infrastructure that he paid for. That is an entrepreneur's paradise. All that you see on this slide has been strategically placed and improved so that you don't have to pay for it. The only thing you have to do is do what you always do. You always tell somebody about something that you like and something that you don't like. And so by doing that with this, you can create a secondary income. Now, who is KaratBars? In a nutshell, we are headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany. We are privately held. We have zero debt, and it is not in the game plan of Harold Sites to have any debt or put us in a position where we need to have debt. We are regulated by strict German law. I really like that. Germany is the toughest country in the European Union to do business in. Germany did not need the European Union. The European Union needed Germany. They're the second largest holder of gold in the world, and we have met or exceeded their standards for 4 years. I'm also a common sense guy. We are recommended by Bundesspar, an independent consumer watchdog organization in Europe. A couple of other key strategic partners in this global umbrella. Prosegur, third largest cybersecurity and digital logistics company in the world, member of the prestigious World Gold Council, 150,000 professionals worldwide. Harold knows it's one thing to have gold, it's another thing, what do you do when you have it? So he's brokered for you, intrinsic in every purchase and every account, that you may vault your gold for free in Prosegur's private facilities. These are not in the banking system that get shut down. Understand, if you open up a KaratBars account, it's free. And two things happen when you send money to your account. Within 72 hours, it's either exchanged into physical gold bullion and put in the vault for you for free, or it's put into the delivery queue and delivered by Federal Express either to your other vaults or in your hands, whichever one you want. KaratBars is an option for you. Now, G4S is another key strategic client partner. They're the largest delivery service in the world. They deliver all of our orders over 10,000 euros. You see their insignia in every international airport, and they provide the security for the World Olympics. Now, what is it that we have? Folks, I showed you man's debt money. And if you work for man's debt money, you're subject to everything that happens with man's debt money. Currency grade gold is a very specific kind of gold. It's elemental, 999.9 purity, stamped by an LBMA certified refinery on the London Good Delivery list. There's only 63 in existence. Folks, this is God's money. God's money is always equal to the task it takes to extract it. There's nothing fiat, can't print more of it out of thin air. There isn't any credit with it, and there's no fractional lending. Like when you give $1 to the bank and they loan out 9 more, they collect 9 times the interest, and what are they paying you on your account? What are they paying you, 1%? Pay per dollar you got in your paper money bank. The real rate of inflation is 11% if you include gas, food, and energy costs. Now, I might be a common sense knucklehead, but if they're only paying you 1%, the real rate of inflation is 11%, you're losing 10% on every paper dollar you got in your paper money bank, but you still need your paper money dollars in order to pay your bills. So here is where we come in. It's always been currency grade gold, you have to understand, is the only kind of gold that is recognized and accepted worldwide by all banks and governments as good for settlement of debt. That's what they use to settle debt between countries. So program update number 4. KaratBars are gold as money and inflation insurance. We are not gold as a commodity or for speculative thinking or for speculative investment. We are not a program for the trader mentality. We make it available to anybody that wants to protect their assets 1 gram at a time. Now, this is the proposed future of currency grade gold. You see this, I got this from an article from the FDIC that they printed. Now, Federal Deposit Insurance Corp. Now, if you see that this gold is going to prop up everything that we have there based in anything but gold. In common sense, if it's good enough for banks and governments, isn't it good enough for your own money? Here's our package. Well, let me put it this way. Their package, 2, 4, 8 years of your life, $10, $20, $50, $100,000, or $200,000 to get a piece of paper or learn a trade to go work in a structure that will only pay you what it takes to replace you. Okay? Not bad, not good, just the way it is. Now, here's our package. I don't care what you already do to make money. You can add this on to what you do. 12 weeks, everybody starts at the same place. We, in turn, follow a couple of tasks, and then with that, we can produce an independent $4,500 a week additional cash flow and residual income. Here's our disclaimer. Income projections are shown in U.S. dollars. The action plan uses mathematical examples that are dependent on following the plan as described. How else are we going to show it? Incomes are not guaranteed due to the fact we cannot guarantee your efforts and those of your team. That's the good part. This isn't made by convincing somebody they have to do something because you know what they're going to do? Nothing. This is about finding the interested parties that this makes sense to, and you will not be able to stop them from doing this. That is the reality of life, and that is the reality of an imperfect world. Now, what I love best about KaratBars is that its entire 12-week plan structure and its company itself is built on the 4 pillars of truth about all economies and about wealth creation. Number 1, the movement of money. Number 2, the velocity at which the movement of money moves through society. Number 3, moving money toward you with a system. And number 4, paying yourself first. The movement of money is the key. Without movement of money, there is no economy. When people get paid and they spend money and they use ATM machines and they buy goods, even when they save and invest money, money moves. In the bailout in the crash in 2008 in America, we bailed out $800 billion to the banks, and they were supposed to move the money into society to get the economy moving again. They didn't. They kept the money and they restricted its flow out. And in the blink of an eye, the wealth extraction that came from your assets, your children's assets, and even your grandchildren's assets were done, and not one person has gone to jail over it. Now, the velocity of the movement of money regulates how robust an economy is, just as you see these 2 pictures. A pond of stagnant water and Niagara Falls. There is the same water, but moving at different speeds. The frequency, volume, and velocity of money, moving money into savings, not spending, in KaratBars, determines the frequency, volume, and velocity of commissions paid. You are exchanging one form of money for another form of real money and saving it, not spending it. This key may sum it up. You have to move money toward you. Why is it that 95% of the population only have 5% of the wealth? Well, as we learned in program update number 2, you cannot outwork an exponential inflation with a linear income. 95% of the population are employee or they're self-employed with a linear income. They work, they eat. They don't work, they don't eat. When they can't work and they can't eat, where do they go for help? The government. Where does the government get the money? They tax or fee the people that are or businesses that are still working, or they print it out of thin air until nobody else wants to buy your debt except for you. Now, when they've been programmed from society in the last 2 generations, that when money moves toward them, they push it away and spend it on doodads that make them look good and feel good. Okay, now why is it that 5% of the population have 95% of the wealth? One word: system. Save yourself some time, effort, and money. System. Business owners use a system like a franchise model. Seen any franchises when you drive down the street? Doesn't even matter if a Pizza Hut takeout and delivery franchise owner even likes pizza. The system is what creates the income. And so what they've learned is this: when money comes towards them, they push it into a system which turns the money around again and multiplies the return many times over back to them. That is the secret to creating wealth in today's society. Investors use a system in money as opposed to people to create residual income, time, and freedom. Our 12-week plan harnesses the velocity of the movement of money with a system to move money toward you properly, and puts it into play in pillar number 4, paying yourself first. We don't spend money. We take paper money, we turn it into gold money, and we put it in our gold money piggy bank. Okay, and by doing that, you have to understand, we don't eat it, drink it, wear it, smoke it, we don't clean with it, we don't pass it through our kidneys, it never goes out of style, it's timeless, it's the only kind of money that all banks and governments use. That's why we don't do coins, it's why we don't do silver. And you're saving it. This is a brilliant plan whose time has come for what we see. And timeless, not trendy like pet rocks, okay? Now, yes, the other benefit is this: nobody's making any better quality 999.9 gold. There's not another product that they're going to best. The gold does what it's supposed to do, and it's used at 6,000 years in life. Now, I'm a common sense knucklehead, which brings me to the other verification. Remember, I was a repo man for 27 years and heard about every story there was in the book. And so I look at not just what is said, I look at what I see. KaratBars has their own private issue MasterCard. If you do not know what it takes to even apply to get one of those as a company, go do your own research. Easy. The kind of reliability and cash assets that you have to have in order to create one are significant. Now, our goal in this is to show you a system that has the correct way to move money with velocity, moving it money toward you with a system by paying yourself first with something that doesn't go out of style, so allow you to have a portable, flexible business. The reason I'm here in Cabo right now, broadcasting you from a place I love to be. And you know what allows me to do that? Because my income is put onto a global MasterCard, allowing me the flexibility and portability to do that anywhere in the world. I'm here in Mexico, I can go into the ATM machine and get out pesos. I can go in Italy and get out lira. I can go in Japan and get out yen. It doesn't matter. We are portable and flexible in times. And the correct way to save money is with pure gold bullion. KaratBars. Correct way to move money, cash money, is a KaratBars MasterCard. Correct way to save money is 1, 2.5 gram, and 5 gram denominations of KaratBars. It is a brilliant plan. Here's the system. This is what we want you to do. We want you to get back with the person that brought you here, and we want you to create a free KaratBars account. There's no logical reason not to do it. It costs nothing to enroll. There's no maintenance fees. You get a self-protected website with no website fees. You can fund it as you want. And if the only thing you wanted to do after seeing this webcast was to plant another financial flag in another area of the world that's in your reach, but just out of the reach of the bankers, politicians, and governments who think all of your money is their money without due process, then this has a valid place for you also. Many people take advantage of that. Now, on top of that, you need to immediately acquire one of our business marketing packages. Now you have positioned yourself in the flow of the largest market transfer in history with a system you don't have to pay for. All you have to do is duplicate, and at this point you are moving money. There's 5 packages to choose from. It's not so much which package you choose as much as it is important and that you immediately acquire one package and open the key to the vault. This is like this is where you get to choose your paycheck. You can start at an entry level called a digital bronze. Pays you 5% direct commission and about $13 a cycle. You can give yourself a pay raise at any time. I love the fact that you are the one that determines how much you want to get paid. You can upgrade at any time. You don't have to ask anybody else's permission to do that. Now, VIP is CEO pay. If I was to equate both of these first 2 parts with land, if you're seeing this presentation for the first time, and somebody is asking you if you want to go, make no mistake, we know exactly where we're going. The only difference is we're asking you, do you want to go where we're going? Somebody's asking you, you want to join us, and ask you if you want a free KaratBars account. Let's talk about that in real estate. That's like me handing you a deed to a piece of land free and clear. There's no encumbrances on it. There's no taxes owed on it. It's a piece of land. All you have to do is say thank you and take it. It's yours to do with what you want. You can will it to your children, transfer it, or you can sell it. It's your piece of property. Whatever you do, it's yours. So there's really no logical reason not to take it. Now, getting a package, let's put that. What I'm going to ask you here on the webcast, what happens to any piece of property if you build a structure or a building on the property? What happens to the value of it? Type it in. It goes up. Thank you very much. It goes, value soars. That's exactly correct. So getting a package for the account. The package stays with the account. Whether you will it, you transfer it, or you sell it, the package added value to the account intrinsically within the system. And understand, the real estate you got here is the world's first and only honest money system. Okay? And it puts you in a position where that value of that property, hey, you don't know what it is until you start to build it. It may be an acre of land on a 30% slope with no driveway, no water, and no power to it, but it is a piece of property. It could turn into a piece of property on the Malibu coast. Now, and the best part about that is you can build value into it. Now, the third part we need to do is we need to move $65 a week of paper money, which isn't getting any more valuable sitting in your account, and we need to turn it into some gold money. Now we're going to move money with velocity. We're going to make one transaction every week for 12 weeks, and after 12 weeks, I couldn't care less if you ever buy another gram in your account. Makes no difference. You have set up the system in order to perpetuate a mobile platform for you and for anybody else. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you need anybody else's permission to enroll a free KaratBars account? No, you can do that all on your own. Do you need anybody else's permission to acquire your own package? No, you can do that all on your own too. Do you need anybody else's permission, criticism, or opinion to take $65 of paper money and turn it into gold money every week for 12 weeks? You can do that all on your own, correct? Then value your own opinion on what you've just seen. Worst case scenario, you've got money on your shelf, and I've never seen any real money, gold money on your shelf, and I've never seen anybody disappointed with that. Now, that is what I call the brick. It's a foundational building block. Okay? Now, the fourth part to this is you need to find 2 people in your first week. Give your best effort. As fast as you can, find 2 people that are willing to be a brick, not the best gold salesman. You send that message down the pipe, and guess what happens? They think, you know what, I already do know what I already do makes the money, so why do I want to figure out how to be a gold salesman? You have missed the point if you're hearing that. We show people how to set themselves up as just as the Pizza Hut franchise model is, only this is not a franchise, this is just another system, and when you do that, you multiply the movement with velocity in a global position that will allow you to pay yourself first, and our system has time to become. Now, positioning yourself to get in the way of the movement of money, you already do that. Look at this slide. See that surgeon? How much money do you think he spent on his education in how many years? Somebody type it in. How many years of education and how much money do you think he spent to to be a surgeon? 8 years plus 100,000, 10 years and 150,000, good enough? Great. He did that to position himself, maybe with something that he loves, maybe not. Maybe, what happens if he gets carpal tunnel? What happens if he gets in a car wreck or Parkinson's? You see, you never get paid. This is what I learned in the repo business. I broke my neck in '92. I realized one important thing. You never get paid for what you know. You only get paid for what you do with what you know. So even if you're the best, hey, you might be the best person doing what you've been doing since what you've been doing's been done. Doesn't matter. You can't do it anymore. No more money's coming in. Now here's our exponential positioning. When you become a part of our system, yourself in the largest market shift ever in world history, as $1.4 quadrillion of fiat paper money backed by nothing turns to gold, silver, and oil-backed money and electronic money. That's where it's going. That's what history has shown it does when it goes through this cycle. It's not any different. That's $1,400 trillion. So when you hear about the debt ceiling talks in America, with the economic engine that is the envy of the planet by innovation, ingenuity, and free enterprise, and they can't solve a $17 trillion debt limit, folks, you are putting yourself right in the midst of a way you can capitalize on that trend, and you don't even have to pay for the infrastructure. This is a no-brainer for entrepreneurs. Let me give you an example of how this works. Let's just say Harold Seitz made this because he cares about people globally. He knows that 2/3 or 3/4 of the population of the planet don't make 500 euros a month. So he wanted a way that anybody, anywhere, whether the house they lived in had wood floors, tile floors, marble floors, or even dirt floors, had an opportunity to capitalize and create an income for their families and generations to come in something real by doing some work regardless of where they live. So let's just say you got back with the person that brought you here, you enrolled, you got a digital bronze package, you uploaded a couple documents to secure, establish, and protect your identity to your private account so you can get paid. And then you took $65 of paper money and you turned it into gold money. And in week number 1, you invited people to webcasts or showed them the plan. You got the plan in front of them. We do the webcast for you twice a day so you don't have to. Isn't that great? In week number 1, you made $13. That's 2 direct commissions. Now, week number 2, let's say you didn't find anybody else, but you found the right 2 that were willing to duplicate the program. That's key and important. Duplicate the program, not putting in your Aunt Ethel and your 18-year-old kid that isn't going to do anything anyway because their hormones are running high. Look at week number 2, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. You didn't make anything. Week number 3, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. You didn't make anything. Week number 4, you took $65 of paper money, you turned it into gold money and put it in your gold money piggy bank. You made $26. Week number 5, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. You made $39. Week number 6, halfway through your 12-gram commitment, you took $65 of paper money, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, but you made $65 with the system. So it is a totally logical question that you're going to be asked by people who make their money and know how to make money in a linear income model. 95% of the population. They're going to ask you, how much does your gold cost? It's logical. Well, let me ask you, if you make at least as much money as it takes you to acquire your own gold from the system, how much does your own gold cost you? Somebody type it in. 0. It's free. Can you buy it cheaper anywhere else? No, this system was made for the thriftiest of gold buyers, but they've never been exposed to option number 4 to acquire gold with its KaratBars system and doing the 12-week plan. So be patient and kind to them if they have an attitude because they have never been introduced to this method before. Now, you're also going to have a linear income. Totally logical question. Well, Dan, that's like money from a job. How much you making anyways? Well, you're correct. It is like money from a job. Week 1, when you had to do the hard work to find 2 people, well, I don't know if you had to ask 2, 5, 10, 20, or 50 people to take a look to find 2 people that were willing to duplicate the program and teach people to do the same thing. It is like work, like money from a job week 1. But what did you do week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? You didn't. You did it before. Now you get paid for what you did before. Unlike the job, you go to work on Monday, you get paid on Friday. You go to work on Monday, get paid on Friday. Go to work on Monday, get paid on Friday. Don't go to work on Monday. How much you making? Somebody type in how much you making in a regular job if you don't show up to go to work. Nothing. That's been the return on the investment of your time doing the tasks you've been programmed by the media, schools, and banks to perpetuate. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that that's why most people are broke when they reach 65. They will use you like a battery, and then that's it. They find somebody else to replace it. Here, you can bolt this onto whatever you do. It's basically a change in your banking routine. That's all it is. Okay? It's as simple as I can make it. Now, you still have 6 more grams to buy. Week number 7, you have eliminated your personal finances. Understand your wallet, your personal bank, and however the means you use in order to acquire your grams of gold are removed from the process. Now, you are going to use your system MasterCard, and you're going to take $65 off your system MasterCard, and you're going to turn it into gold money, and you're going to put it in your gold money piggy bank, and this time you made $143. That is more money than it took you to buy your own digital bronze package. Okay, in week number 8, you took $65 off your system MasterCard, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. You made $286. Folks, that is more money than it took you to acquire all the other gold you bought. Now you have created a complete return of capital in a system that has the ability to, with zero risk, spin off pure residual income, portable and flexible in today's world and go anywhere you want, do what you want, how you want, when you want. And from that point on, everything you do is self-contained. Week number 9, $546. Week number 10, $65 off your system MasterCard. Turn it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank, and make $1,131. That's $54,000 a year on top of whatever you're doing to make money now. Are you making $54,000 a year at your job right now? Even if you are, can you go into your boss and ask him for a $54,000 a year raise? Perception is reality. Week number 11, you took $65 off your system MasterCard, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. It's $2,223. That's $110,000 a year on top of what you're doing. Most of you may not even be making $110,000 a year. Are you? Week number 12, you took $65 off your system MasterCard, turned it into gold money, put it in your gold money piggy bank. You made $4,485. That's $222,000 a year from that point on, period. In the minimum participation level where you participated as digital bronze, you only found 2 right people who would duplicate the system in your first week, whether you had to ask 2, 5, 10, or 20, or 50. That would duplicate this and understand what they're doing, and only acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks and never acquired another gram. Folks, our system is time has come. We have the pillars of truth about all economies, and when people see this, they will flock to it. You just have to not be a secret agent with us. The only way it won't work is if you don't ask. Silver package level, $350 pays you 4 times what a bronze makes. One time, $350 isn't even a set of tires on your car, which you're going to wear out and you're going to have to replace anyways. By the time you get down to the 12th week, it's $17,250 a week. If you were the only silver and everybody else was just a bronze, found 2 in the first week, never found another person, only acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, and never acquired another gram. Gold package level, $800, pays you 6 times what a bronze does. It only takes you 4 weeks of using your own personal finances. You were the only gold and everybody else was just a bronze. And by the time you get down to the 12th week, that's $25,000 a week. Folks, we have our people making that already. No big deal. Okay, now, the key part of that is some of you may have spouses. Some of you may have been very successful. Some of you may have taken a big hit in 2008 and you've been trying to get back, but you're older and you don't know how to get back because you don't have the time to leverage it. Here's a simple way that you can meet at like minds like yourself, put that plan in front of them, work together as a team, and then once you do that, let me tell you right now, you want an attitude change from your spouse, you put $100,000 in their checking account, they'll have an attitude change. VIP package level, top of the food chain, folks. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't even mess around with anything else like that. You go straight to VIP. You don't leave any money on the table. Even if you just look at this as an asset to acquire gold, imagine, look at this. You get to use the coupon, 100-euro discount card, and this is the most popular, maxes out the comp plan. Even if you don't start at a VIP, everyone is going to upgrade to a VIP at some point. They'll just make less money along the way. VIP level, if you just took the incomes you see here and exchanged it, understand, this is you the only VIP. Nobody else in this system is a VIP. If you're a VIP and sponsor a VIP, you get a direct commission of $425 and no less than 2 cycles. Your first week, you're already earned enough money in order to pay for your gram of gold. Okay? Now, by the time you get down to the 12th week, that's $33,750 a week in a perfect world. Well, we know the world ain't perfect. Some of you, I want you here on the webcast. Have you found your 2 in the first week? Type it in. If it took you more than a week, but you found your 2 are duplicating, type it in. If you got more than a digital bronze package, type it in. If you upgraded or went VIP, type it in. Look at all those yeses, guys. I mean, it's flying off the charts. Do you realize that you just destroyed on my perfect mathematical example at the minimum incomes? All you have to do is show people this. It's a yes waiting to happen these times, and trust me, that part is a no-brainer. Now, $33,750 a week is more money in a week than the average family in America makes in a month. Everybody needs to know about KaratBars. Understand the fine line. You're invited here. We don't advertise. Somebody thought enough of you, he could have called anybody to invite you to this webcast, and I hope I did a good job explaining this. They could have invited anybody, but they chose you, and you were smart enough to show up. A lot of people may not have showed up. This is the fine line in seeing this. If 10,000 new people saw KaratBars, 10,000 new people every single day for 25 years straight, only 1% of the world would ever even hear our name. We have an incredible tool here to share freedom and prosperity in times of much turmoil we see on the planet, because the paper money does not do what it used to do, and it's causing much turmoil. You have the ability to share this with a family. I've seen the turmoil when you drive down the streets, and when you leave this webcast and you go out on your street and you drive around and says, see, look, it's all working, it's all working. I'm here as the ex-repo man to tell you. You would not be as impressed with what you see if they had to own it outright before they possessed it. And so the fact of the matter is, that's how things used to work before, but they aren't the way they are now. So take your eyes off yourself. This is a coaching point from the ex-repo man who has had to face his fears. Incredible fears. I've been shot at. I got stabbed in the chest. I've had boards broken over my back, bit by dogs, broke my neck. I've run into gun runners, alien smugglers, counterfeiters, devil worshippers, meth cookers, plantations. I've had people try and kill me. How do I overcome fear? Because I know that you can allow fear to be of 2 responses. 1, it will be your jail keeper, which will keep you paralyzed from taking action, and you will live in regret. I don't want you to do that. Or you can choose to allow the brilliant spark inside of you come out. Take your eyes off of yourself and see if you can be of genuine service to another. You have to have an open heart for that. And if that is the truth, then fear becomes your counselor, not your jail keeper, in which case the best you will come out. It'll be natural, and they can see it in your body language. When your heart's in the right place, the rest of everything takes place. Anytime you come up with a reason not to ask somebody or some scheme to try and ask them the right way, you're probably only thinking about how it'll make you feel, not them. And with that, I close here from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. KaratBars stands for everything sound, solid, and truthful about money. This is not theory. This is not a guess. This is not some hoax. Make no mistake, we know exactly where we're going. The question is, are you coming with us, or are you going to waste more time and more paper money trying to make a dead horse run? Do the thing you love to do with passion. If this KaratBars plan helps you have the resources to have more time and more money to do what you love to do, how you want to do it, then God bless you all, and may you have a wonderful Saturday. It's been my pleasure to share from you, living my dream by helping others. Dan Girolamo, Big Boomer, Cabo, Mexico. What a beautiful place.